The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. A leper came to him and kneeling down begged him and said, "If you wish, you can make me clean." Moved with pity, he stretched out his hand, touched the leper, and said to him, "I do will it. Be made clean." The leprosy left him immediately, and he was made clean. Then, warning him sternly, he dismissed him at once. Then he said to him, "See that you tell no one anything, but go, show yourself to the priest, and offer for your cleansing what Moses prescribed. That will be proof for them." The man went away and began to publicize the whole matter. He spread the report abroad so that it was impossible for Jesus to enter a town openly. He remained outside in deserted places, and people kept coming to him from everywhere. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
So I have to say, when I was praying with this first letter to the Hebrews, I couldn't help but keep current events out of my mind, maybe for the best, maybe for the worst. And I thought, man, I am so fortunate that I get to have it a clear example of who the good guys are and who the bad guys are. Who am I able to hate? Who am I able to fight against and to conquer and to destroy? And then I kept reading and realized, oh no, I've made a terrible mistake, because that's not the message of the gospel. That's not the message of any of our teachings, of our Christianity, of our faith, of our hope. We don't tend to conquer we do tend to conquer each other. Jesus tells us a different message. We have, in fact, two enemies, sin and death. And spoiler alert, Jesus beat both of them for us so that we don't have to. And so I was very, very struck by this line, so that none of you may grow hardened by the deceit of sin. I think that's the great lie that we've been given these days, these generations, that our enemy is the person sitting next to us, that our enemy is the nation sitting next to us. That's not true. Those people are people. Our brothers and sisters, also beloved children of God, just like me. And so when we read in our gospel that Jesus is willing to go to the very edge of society, that Jesus is going to go to the very people that nobody else is willing to go to, I think so often in our minds we think, well, it has to be a leper. It has to be somebody that's so obviously on the outskirts. And instead, I think it's a challenge for us to see the outcast as the person that I disagree with, the person that I think is wrong, the person that I think doesn't get it. We're called to go and speak to them. We're called to go and love them as Jesus loved them. And so as we continue our ordinary time leading up to Lent, perhaps we can do what the letter to the Hebrews encourages us to do, that we may become partners of Christ, so that we may do what is necessary while there is time, so that when the time comes, we will be ready to face the living God with love in our hearts.